What's up, everybody? I'm Knight.
And I'm Gale.
And welcome to the Nightingale Show,
where we talk about everything that's important to no one and nothing that's important to everyone. The song you're hearing right now is my jam of the week. It's called Something's Gotta Give by All Time Low, off their forthcoming album Future Hearts, which they will be doing a tour in support of this summer, along with Tonight Alive and a couple other bands, I think. So be sure to check that out, you guys. That's our jam of the week from me. You'll hear Mike's jam of the week later on in the show.
Now, hold your horses, people. Mine's coming. But, so what's going up, y'all? Another day, well, night, depending when this is loaded, but hope you're all doing well.
Before we really get started, I just have to say, cat shirt!
You're in your freaking cat shirt, man.
It's the best shirt ever, by the way, guys. You need to, if you have one of these shirts at your local store, you need to pick it up right now. Just
Unless you're allergic to cats, or you hate cats, much like me. Which I don't hate cats. I like kittens. That's really it, though.
This is a kitten.
But you should have specified. You said cat shirt.
Look at it. It's a kitten surfing on a slice of pizza.
Just oh my god.
Pick up the shirt.
What's next? What we do next again?
The Gadget Geek Out!
Where we talk about a gadget that we both think is really just amazing, and we can't wait for it to come up in 2015.
Okay, so today we're going to be covering two kind of similar gadgets.
One that's really well known and one that's not so well known by most people, probably.
But it has been getting quite a bit of hype lately. I'm sure you guys have probably heard, if you're looking at the news at all, about Microsoft's HoloLens. It's kind of their foray into the world of 3D gaming, immersive gaming.
I would say like immersive just platform. I wouldn't say gaming specifically or anything like that. Just an immersive platform.
Yeah, because it's not the difference about Microsoft HoloLens is it's not specifically tailored to gaming. It's to provide a virtual reality experience on top of your world already. Basically what it is it's a set of glasses. I'm sure you guys have heard of Google Glass and projects like that, like Project Morpheus for Sony. But it's kind of like a big set of sunglasses, but what Microsoft has gone a step beyond, instead of having screens that you cannot see through, they have see-through lenses on which they project holograms. And these holograms can be present in your everyday life and you can interact with them. People, one of the coolest demonstrations they had was having a Skype connection between two people who were wearing the lenses, and both users were able to draw and mess with the other person's screen. And kind of the simulation they had was that one person was trying to fix a light switch, didn't have the expertise, and the other person helped them over Skype to fix the light switch by drawing diagrams and arrows in holograms in the air, because they can see what the other person is seeing. And personally, I think it's mind blown. I think it's a really cool technology, and it's leaps and bounds beyond what anyone else has attempted in the virtual reality
but not sector. To say that's also not trying to go into gaming, because I also read in the paper that it actually tried to do another demo with this is all kind of like walkthrough demo. It wasn't just like, hey, try this. It was they had this planned out. It actually had like a Minecraft world that they projected into real life, and you could like fiddle, like pick up blocks, destroy blocks, blow blocks away, like literally blow them with through like just destroy it.
I did read about that too, and I also read that they had a game where almost like a Mario type platform game where they gave you your little character and then put like coins and springs on stuff inside of your room. So you move the character around by pointing where you want it to go and flicking where you want it to jump and stuff like that. And you can collect the coins that are like they scatter coins across like say like counters or couches.
Okay, this is retarded, but like so you're saying like little sprite kind of like off the screen kind of, or just like kind of.
I'm not sure exactly because they didn't go into that much detail, but it was like a Mario type platform game where you jump and collect coins and bounce off springs and stuff like that. And it sounded pretty interesting, but they projected it onto the physical world, so the coins were scattered across the counters and the couches and stuff.
But not also just for do-it-yourself or gaming. Another great thing they have that I also read, and I'm sure Gale here can also talk about, is just presentations they can make scientifically.
Mm-hmm. And a big thing for me when I first heard about this is how much this could help people in the medical field. And it'd be the kind of the same thing they did with the light switch, where a more experienced doctor could direct someone over Skype or train someone on how to conduct surgeries without having to be in the same room. And I feel like it'd be really helpful, because then, really prestigious doctors could be able to give training seminars or something like that. Say, because they have like Google Hangouts where you can have up to 9 or 10 people or something like that in one video chat. They could have video seminars, like interactive video seminars, instead of just on like explaining something. The doctor could actually draw diagrams and draw pictures on stuff. So that was one of the big things for me. I know in the demo they talked about where they projected a virtual surface of Mars into the user's room, and had another person who was wearing the HoloLens in a different room. He showed up in the
like narrate kind of
and kind of say, hey, go check this out, and the guy you could walk over and you could like tap the air to place a flag somewhere or something like that, and it was kind of like the flag was there so the Mars rover could come and drill for.
So imagine
samples.
like awesome more homeschooling.
Yeah.
I mean, that just popped in my head. That'd be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are really, really limitless for this technology, I guess, and this coming year, I guess we'll see where it progresses to.
But don't start giggling like fangirls yet, because it's still in early development. This is all just basically demo and like very scripted walkthroughs.
Yeah, so unless you're a developer that's going to start developing apps for the HoloLens, you're probably not going to be able to get your hands on it until at the earliest late this year.
Something a little bit more relevant, and from my side, a little child of mine, I am really hyped about the Oculus Rift, which everyone knows. Everyone's talking about it, how Facebook's bought it out and it's trying to make it for 3D gaming, but it's not just for that. You can also watch movies on it, entertainment, like just like internet browsing, like, well, really not much to say. Internet browsing in front of your face.
Yeah, it's like your own personal IMAX theater almost.
Exactly. But like it's been under so much development. I'm so hyped for it because it's coming out soon. There's so much talk about coming out this year, because there's a development kit 1, there's DK2 out that's been out for a while now, which people said this would be the final get the bugs out kind of thing, which a lot of people have been using it. I know on YouTube, if you're watching it, if you watch YouTube like you're watching us, there's people like Jacksepticeye playing with it, PewDiePie plays it, and they just rave about it. And it can also be held kind of therapeutically, because even though it's gaming, but people have like Jack says, especially, he has a fear of heights. But he does games for like roller coasters and stuff like that, stuff where he's basically tripping balls in space and stuff. But not much to say about it. Everyone really knows about it. It's just something I'm really hyped up for. Not as detailed as Gale's HoloLens, but
one thing I think is kind of interesting is how Samsung developed a special Oculus Rift set to be used with their Galaxy Note 4. And that also kind of shows to me how far we're progressing with
technology and
compatible technologies, where before the Oculus Rift was kind of its own separate thing, and when it came out, it has a lot of people who have copied ever since the Oculus Rift became kind of a big thing, and like he talked about PewDiePie and people like that wearing it and doing game walkthrough videos and stuff like that, and kind of bringing it into the public eye.
Other companies have been trying to get into it, like Sony with Project Morpheus, which I gotta check up again, but I think they may have canked it.
See, that's
I gotta double check. There's always a
lot
lot of rumors about that, because it's kind of the whole. I want to say copyright, but just being like the second show horse is nothing. Not gonna help, because they already say the Oculus Rift can be compatible with PC, possibly compatible with consoles like PS4, Xbox One, possibly Wii U. Who knows? Like the HoloLens, the possibility with Oculus Rift is endless.
And I think Oculus Rift and virtual reality gaming in general is kind of it's the next big step for gaming, because
And having no life.
Yeah, and having
who needs a real girlfriend?
Yeah. Who needs a real girlfriend?
Dating sims.
You can get HoloLens and have a holographic girlfriend. Dating simulators will be taken to the next level.
You can actually thrust it.
The big thing for me though is like how so many people were disappointed with the most recent generation of gaming consoles.
Wait, what?
With the Xbox One and the PS4. Where they were of people didn't quite get on board with them simply because they're not huge upgrades like the previous generation were.
Also, the fact that there's no backwards compatibility for either.
And no backwards compatibility is a huge thing because...
Well, each has their own thing, whereas with... I don't know what Microsoft does, because I'm personally a PlayStation fan. I had an Xbox One, but I sold it. I have a PS4 now currently, and I know that PlayStation has a system where you can go back and play games from yesteryear, like Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty if you want to, but the prices are super steep for some games.
Yeah.
Like for Gran Turismo, stuff like that, you'll pay like $20 to play for 4 hours. I mean, who the heck wants to play a race game for just 4 hours and not...
And also, when the Xbox One was first coming out, and Microsoft had that whole thing where they were, they had a plan to nix like renting games and borrowing games too, where when you bought a game or
it was your game,
yeah,
you couldn't.
It got installed onto your console and it couldn't be used on anywhere else, and also how we're progressing into how phones and tablets are getting so much more powerful. Pretty soon consoles will be obsolete because we'll have the computing power, but it'll be much more portable. It won't be something that we hook up to our TV.
Can you hear that? It's the Master Race saying, PC wins, motherfuckers! No. I will be a console boy to the day I die. But I will admit, our handhelds are getting a lot more powerful. Like, you have the Chromecast, and then you can play YouTube from my phone to TV, which is pretty freaking cool. And also for something, going back to Sony, they have the PlayStation Home, which is basically something, it's like an extension of the PS4 system, where you can have a PS4 in one room, PlayStation Home in the other, and play one game on each. It's kind of I think personally it's kind of whack off Sony, for sure. that's coming from me, and I worship Sony. Crash Bandicoot, my boy.
Personally, I just think the next big step for gaming is going to be portability. Instead of having to like
they've already said
hook your console up to the wall and connect it to your TV and then just let it sit there, you're going to be able to have something
projected into the world, like with the HoloLens. That'd be awesome.
It's going to be something that you can take with you and have at
or with Oculus Rift, where you can sit. Sorry.
Have with you at all times. My bad.
Or with Oculus Rift, you can also just sit there, plug up something Oculus Rift, and just. Oh look! I can look all around. Fuck it. T-Bag in real life.
And that's what I feel is going to be the next big thing for gaming is portability.
Well, because they've already stated that with Xbox One and PS4, that's as far as they can go with pushing the limits of graphics, stuff like that. Right now, they're just hindered by TVs, size, portability, and just literally just what the disc can make, because there's nowhere to go. We've hit the glass ceiling. We have to stop for consoles. Sadly, I'll admit that.
And another big thing is
again. PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. Another big thing is that if they push the console's graphical ability any farther, it's going to be kind of a moot point because
they have no TVs good enough for that.
Well, I mean they do, but they're not widely adopted. Where
you know, accessible.
4K TVs and stuff like that. The highest resolution we have right now. Well, I mean we do have 5K, but it's not widely produced like 4K TVs are. But
apparently 4K is supposed to get cheaper this year too.
It's supposed to get cheaper, but like 4K is still, the 4K TVs are still $800-900, sometimes up to $1,200-1,500.
Which
for a 4K
I'm not gonna lie. No offense, like for the whole I will admit I love how GTA 5 and stuff looks on PC and consoles. It looks gorgeous, but I wouldn't mind playing like bad looking games like Mario Kart 64, Super Smash Brothers, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. Those games are what got people playing. Like, I know it's gonna be a special one for you. Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
Anything Legend of Zelda. I mean, I know you would rather play any of the older stuff than anything new. Like, I would love to play PlayStation 2 Kingdom Hearts right now.
Yeah. For me, it's always been. I've always been a handheld guy. I had tweetings. I've always been
PSP.
I actually had a. I actually had a PS Vita for a while, and I didn't.
Me too, actually.
I can't speak today. I ended up selling it because it didn't have nearly as many games that I played on it as the 3DS XL. So I sold it and bought a 3DS XL instead. But
Whereas for me, I sold my 3DS to get a PS Vita, but I sold my Vita because all the games that were coming out were kind of... Well, there was the whole compatibility with PS Vita and PS4. I didn't really use it.
Mm-hmm.
I used the PS Vita for games like Persona, RPG games, Monster Hunter and stuff. No, Monster Hunter is 3DS, isn't it? No, it's both.
Monster Hunter is
Vita?
Both. Is both.
It's both. Well, for graphics for me.
And that's the one advantage the Vita did have was graphics. But
and accessibility. Well, I'm going to say accessibility now because the 3DS can use as a controller for Wii U Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I think is Sony didn't really follow up too much on their PS handheld lines. Like the PSP, that came out and it was there for a couple of years and then Sony just forgot about it.
Well,
same thing with the Vita is they're not really doing too much.
No. They are doing a lot more with the Vita. Now that I've sold mine, I actually kind of regret it because they came out with a bunch of new games. Mm-hmm. A lot more I wouldn't say reboots, but they're bringing stuff from guys kind of fill the gap from the lack of PS3 stuff being brought to PS4. Mm-hmm. Like Tales of Xillia, stuff like that. The Tales series are being brought back to PS Vita, which I love. The Tales series, like an RPG game that has great story. Semi-repetitive in some places because you have Tales of Xillia 1, Tales of Xillia 2. 2 is basically just a rescript of 1, same places, different people, but if you're like me who likes to play Dynasty Warriors 1 through 8, when the same stuff still brings you in, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Call me a casual gamer, but I'm not. Screw you.
But that's our discussion for today. If you guys have any more input, anything else you'd like us to look into or talk about regarding our discussion that kind of turned into all things gaming today instead of just our two little facial things. But if you guys
how about we call them the Oculus Rift and
virtual reality devices. If you guys have any other topics or ideas for us or any other websites or articles,
or if that's too boring, if you could battle it out, which one are you more hyped for? In the comments.
Yeah, we'd like to see what you guys have to think. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is our first first episode.
We're not done yet, son. Mildly interesting fact.
Mildly interesting fact of the day.
Which it's meh.
It's mildly interesting.
I said it's meh.
No, you could see more interesting things during your day, but it's...
Well, from my phone, say the picture from WTFFunfact.com. It is... Well, you can't really see it, but that woman... It says there's a woman named Marijuana Pepsi Jackson. Pepsi Jackson. Marijuana Pepsi Jackson.
Here's the mildly interesting part.
She has never smoked, and she prefers orange soda.
Like I said,
meh. But I could have sworn we had something else we were going to talk about. Oh well.
We're not interesting.
yeah, we are. Shut up. So, like we said earlier, we got to hear Gale's Jam of the Week. Here's my Jam of the Week. It is Tyler Carter, who, if you listen to kind of punk, pop kind of stuff, he is the lead singer for Issues, and he's actually doing his first EP called Leave Your Love. And this is one of his songs, Tears on the Runway. Tears on the Runway, Part 1, featuring, I can't say it correctly, it's Nylo, Nilo, or Nilo. But here it is, fellas. Play us out, Tyler Carter.